Hope you're all doing well out there today. Hi, everybody, Facebook people out there, my friends, my peeps. Welcome. It's Betsy Walker live here today doing my weekly live. As you know, I'm so passionate about health and wellness and really talking a lot about the nervous system and how we can calm the nervous system in multiple ways so that we can be healthier and we can release stress in our lives, which can cause us to be ill and hurt and all those things. So today I'm talking about touching on a topic that is very near and dear to my heart. I'm going to tell you a little story. This is a story I haven't told a lot to people unless they're friends, close people. So it's kind of hard to share some of these personal things out there in just to everybody. So, but I think it will help you all, which is why I want to share. But first of all, really talking about the nervous system and how to calm it so that we can get rid of stress really quickly. That's what this is all about, okay? So when we're stressed and our nervous system is upregulated, our heart rate increases, right? We have hormones that are released, our stress hormones, which are not healthy for us. And then we have things like sleep disturbances. Maybe we go for a while and then we crash and we're so exhausted. Things like adrenal fatigue happens. Our mind races and we can get depression. Lots of things can happen, and then our body responses to that are things like it affects our digestive systems. And we know from so much research and information out there now that when our digestion is affected, our immune system is affected, which is a big deal right now, right? We don't want our immune system to be lowered right now. So our gut flora is really directly affected by our stress. And so we can have things like weight gain or extreme weight loss, which has actually happened to me, where it can be scary either way. And then, of course, we can have illness happen and eventually, succumb to disease. So those are the things that I don't want you to have, okay? I really don't want you to have. And I wanted to bring out this picture, which I've used before. Hopefully you can all see this. This is called a stress or a threat bucket. So when we have a lot of things like that we're putting into this bucket, then we get pain out the side or illness, right? It says pain there, but it can also be illness. And everything, including good stress, adds to this bucket, right? So I want to show you how to release stress very quickly so that you can take this threat bucket and lower it so that you have less pain coming out and less illness. All right. So I'll just give you a little bit of story of my life so that you can really, relate to what I'm saying. And yours may not be exactly the same, obviously, but we all have something, right? We all have some kind of constant stress. And this also relates to people who have had trauma, because I talked last week about trauma. We can have big T trauma, little t trauma, or we have constant trauma, constant stress. So I had a period in my life when I was in constant stress, and it had to do with my teenage son. So if any of you out there are parents, you know how hard it is having teenagers just in general, right? It's hard being a parent. But when they start having troubles themselves, like really serious troubles, it can totally rock your world. And that's what happened to me. So I was on an emotional roller coaster for a number of years, actually. And it just kept getting worse. It was like a snowball, getting worse and worse and worse. And it was like I was kind of in it. So I didn't see how bad it was getting until it got so bad that it was like, oh my gosh, I got to do something about this. So I had things like fear and anger and sadness, regret, blame, all these things, these emotions, and probably many others were just kind of circling, and I'd hit one and then another, and sometimes all at once. So I was starting to have depression. I was losing sleep. I was losing weight. Lots of things happening in my life. It affected, my relationships. And luckily, I had a strong husband who helped me through it, and I helped him through his struggle with it as well, because it was a team effort. But you know, I realized I had a wake up call, and it was a little bit sometime after that I learned how to deal with this. But it really came to light what all this had done to me, and you know, we don't always know what's happening exactly in us, inside of us, until we get some kind of objective measures, right? So I had some blood tests done, and because of all this stress and things that were happening in my life, I had some scary markers that showed up. I was at a very high risk for ovarian cancer and breast cancer. All my cholesterols and triglycerides and everything was totally off, right? And so I had this, oh my gosh, this is what happens when you are under tremendous stress. And this is why I'm so passionate to tell you this, because I eat organic, I take care of myself, I exercise. You all know I'm a health fanatic, right? But it happened to me, so it can happen to you. And that's why I want to share this with you, because it's so important. You might think, okay, well, I don't need to deal with that emotional stuff, but it really does affect your life. Okay, it'll come home to roost. So that's why I want to share this with you. It's so important that you know how to release stress, and you have a system. And there's many of them out there, but I'm going to share with you a little bit about what I use, because it's so quick and so fast. So I knew something had to happen, right? I just knew it. I had to change something. And so through this system that I'm going to share with you, I realized that I had to only focus on what I could control. Okay. And it took some doing, because when you're in this, you don't realize these things, right? And I knew I can only control my reaction to the stress, to the stimulus that was coming in from the situation with my son. And I realized I had this tool, so I could use it. And what I did was I released everything, on a daily basis. I was releasing stuff on a daily basis of what was bothering me, and just being very in my body and understanding what was going on. So I was able to forgive him. This was huge. This was the underlying thing, right? The forgiveness is a huge thing, because there was a lot of trauma, a lot of hurt, a lot of anger. And I was able to give up control. So I allowed him to take responsibility, to deal with, responsibility for his own actions and his own consequences that he was dealing with. So, it totally took a weight off of me to be able to do that. I was able to get rid of fear on a daily basis. This is huge, right? Anxiety and fear. I found myself eating tons of chocolate, and which I still do sometimes, but it's more because I love it. But just that fear on a daily basis was really taking its toll. So I was able to release that every day, and I still do that when it comes up. I was taking better care of myself. I was able to see that this was an important thing, and so I had a morning ritual, and I still do, of releasing what I have to release, and doing the things that I need to do for me, to take care of me, so that I can be better and react differently to the stresses that are out there from my family members or whatever else is going on in life. And the sadness I had, the pain, turned to gratitude. I started seeing the good things, so that the sadness wasn't overtaking me, and then I could see the good things. So a gratitude practice was a huge, huge deal. And then the regret. Oh my gosh, I had so many regrets. I was blaming myself for so many things. And I was able to just trust. And for me, because I'm a spiritual person, and I wanted to give it to my God. So I trusted in God, that He had a plan, and that He was helping me to grow and helping my son to grow. So that's that's what I was able to do. And that was a big, big deal. Right. And then the anger I had turned from anger to compassion and love. So when you can take that and just turn it like that, it makes so much difference. So today I had my son and I have an amazing relationship. I am so grateful for him. And I look at him and I'm just like in awe at the changes he's made in his life. And it's partly because that I was able to make changes because of the work that I did and with the system of releasing that I did. So I worry less now and I sleep more. I'm able to trust him, which is huge. I mean, that in itself is amazing. I encourage him. I encourage him regularly, and feel so good about that and where he's going in his life. And I love him where he's at. That's yeah, it's amazing. And I allow him to make his own mistakes because it's a growing process, and that's a hard part of being a parent is to allow your kids to make mistakes, but realizing now, gosh, I wish I had had this when my kids were younger because so much of the things that happened, could have been prevented. So if you're a young parent out there, oh my gosh, this would be amazing for you. I mean, I hope you give yourself this gift. Okay. So this is all because I use a system of releasing called Aroma Freedom. This was brought to me and taught to me by a psychologist who used it in his practice, his therapy practice for many years. And it is such an efficient and quick way because what we're doing is we're reaching the brain, the limbic system of the brain, very quickly with the molecules, natural molecules of essential oils, and boom, it just changes everything. It switches your thought process. It helps change the way the neurons are firing. And I know I can get technical and I can get kind of into my science, but this, I have to tell you, this is an amazing process that happens in your brain instantaneously. So you have to experience it. It's so amazing. All right. So I continue to use this and I just believe in it, as you can tell, and I want to share it with you. So I have created an event for all of you to get exposed to it, to try it and see how it works for you. And it's December 16th. It's a 2.5-hour retreat. It's called the Free Your Spirit Retreat. I'm doing it on Zoom, and you can sign up through my Facebook group. You can go to bit.ly/freeyourspirit. And that's all one word and it's uppercase. Or you can click on the links that I provide in the comment boxes. You can message me if you're on Instagram, message me if you're on YouTube. You can email me at betsywalkerwellness@gmail.com. And of course, Facebook is easy to message me. So I have a group called the Optimized Mind and Body, and I'll have a pop-up group for this to support you directly through this retreat. So it's going to be amazing. And I really want everybody possible to be on that, because I think the more we take care of ourselves and we deal with this stuff, it helps everybody, right? It helps us all be healthier and support each other. So especially during this holiday season, give yourself this gift. All right. So I am excited for you all to join me. And again, I hope you're able just to move through whatever's bothering you, whatever is causing your nervous system to be upregulated, so that you can release and you can live a better life, be healthier, and continue, to serve others and help others. All right. So until next week, I hope you have a lovely week, and that your holiday season is going to be a very calm, peaceful, and just joyous season. All right. Goodbye, everybody. All right. Have to figure out here how to finish this video on Instagram. All right. How do I stop Instagram? All right, everybody, I am sorry, but I don't know how to stop this. Guess I'll just close it. Goodbye.